Good luck, guys. Let's have a good first race of the season. And, of course, let's make it a good one.
In my veins, every step a jagged refrain, crawling through the static haze, burning skin against the blaze. Is it worth it to keep moving when the edge is calling me? Push past the pain, feel it break, feel it crack through the static, no turning back. Push past every scream, every scar. I find out who we really are. Fists clench against the grind, blood and sweat, it rewinds. Echo scream, can't ignore. Walls crumble, show me more. Will it end here or go deeper? What's the cost of breaking free? Push past the pain, feel it break, feel it crack through the static, no turning back. Push past every scream, every scar. I'll find out who we really are. I'll find out who we really
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Vortex Racing Network's production of Monday Night Mayhem. The boys of the Moonlight Racing League are live at Auto Club Raceway for the first race in the 3-race round of 8. It's playoff time in season number 6. Mean G Money alongside my tag team partner, Zach Panzarella, bringing you high-stakes action from Fontana, California. It's been a while since NASCAR's been here, but we're back. Zach, We're at your home track, buddy.
Oh, that's mean, Gene. But yeah, we are my old home track. I love this place, whether or not it's a dirt lot now or if it's a 2-mile racetrack like it used to be, one of the most glorious places ever. I absolutely love this place, and one thing that I like even more about it is when we're underneath the lights. It's gonna be a fun one.
Cannot wait to see what's going to happen. As we said, this is the first race of the round of 8. Last week, we went from 12 to 8. Heartbreak for one driver in particular. Matt Novella came into that race up 3 over the cut line, ends up 2 points short, doesn't move on. Unfortunately for him, it was a rough Phoenix. Other drivers that are in, let's go ahead and take a look at the playoff drivers, and you can see how that reset
Working on that. I'll get just
also.
a second. Don't worry. There we go.
This is a standard playoff format, so bonus points in effect, and there it is. You can see Nate Lesko up at the top. Grant Applegate. Applegate had 2 wins during that first round, so this guy on fire. Behind him, Joe Volpis, then The Undertaker, Tony Iverson. And here's the boys on the outside looking in. But that first one, Zach, Wyatt Mickelson, he accumulated the second most amount of points during the round of 12. Got to keep an eye on that 51 today.
Yeah, you absolutely do. We've been seeing him get better every week, quite literally, me and Gene. He is just improving, and he is really knocking on the door of that first win. There'd be no better time than now, the first race of the round of 8, to punch your ticket to that championship race right away, be able to set your sights right away on that one track, give yourself a little bit of an advantage. Wyatt Mickelson is also my driver to watch today.
Yeah, that number 51 really having a great season. Behind him, Buddy Sully, another guy with a win on the year. Buddy really running well there towards the end, was 5th in points. Would have been higher, but he had a rough Phoenix. And then that last guy, or the next 2 guys, Redinger and Jay Stinson, couple of teammates. Redinger, of course, did have that win in the opening race of the round of 12. And then Stinson with that super comeback at Phoenix to overtake Novella with those driving skills. That is your round of 8. Couldn't get any better. All of them with the ability to win here at Auto Club. Last year, it was the David Owens show, so we don't have to worry about that. Second place was Grant Applegate and Colin Bollinger with the 3rd place finish. So Applegate's still here looking to get perhaps another win. He's got 2 so far here in the playoffs. I'm still waiting to see other drivers take that big step up. We've seen Mickelson and Applegate be so hot. We saw Redinger as well, but my question is, will Lesko and Volpis re-emerge, or are they going to just continue to count on the points that they've accumulated also? No slight to either one of those 2 drivers, but if they're registering an 8 on the speed scale, the other boys are registering a 9 and a 10.
Yeah, I would completely agree, me and Gene. It's going to be very, very interesting. I think here at Auto Club 2, especially with this field size, we're going to see some long runs today is my guess. And I think there's a chance we also see a little bit of dominance. Not as much unpredictability as we've seen as of late, but it's hard to say, right? We'll have to see. Right now we have our eyes on Jay Bev putting down his qualifying lap. This is a 10-minute qualifying session here today. There's about a minute left, and everything that you were saying in this pre-race is looking pretty fortuitous, me and Gene.
Yeah, of course, this is a 2-mile track Auto Club. You get the D-shaped oval, and it's got 14-degree banking here on the asphalt. So we're expecting super speedway like effects once they start drafting and get into the pack racing scenario. Big shout out to our season-long sponsor, Fish Speed Brakes. Fish Speed Brakes, of course, formed by Jordan Fisher. Jordan, such a dominant force in the season last year, and then took a step back to focus on creating this Discord channel. They use Garage 61 And what a great track record of improving people's lap times. We've seen him take drivers that were back markers suddenly become contenders, and we've seen contenders become champions. Fish Speed Breaks, check them out on Discord. And here it is. Qualifying is complete. Congratulations to our pole sitter, Nate Lesko. Must not liked what I said, Zach. Decided he's going to go ahead and strike hot. Joining him on the front row, going to be the number 77 of Eric Gambrel. What's the menace got in store for us tonight? Second row, going to be playoff driver Tony Iverson in that third position. Next to him, Ryan Holla. Holla was a round of 12 playoff driver. Lots of speed in that number 41 car. Joe Volpus and Jay Stinson going to start there on the third row. Both these drivers looking to advance, needing to accumulate points here today. Grant Applegate, joined by fellow playoff driver Kenneth Redinger on row number 4. Jay Dargard continuing to lay down fast qualifying times. Will today be the day where Jay can find the finishing coup de grace and score his top 5? Buddy Sully gonna round out the top 10. Another playoff driver. Lots of playoff drivers in that top 10.
Yeah, there really are. Jack Sanders is going to be starting in 11th place. Next to him will be Justin Parham. Louis will be starting over in 13th place with KK in 14th. I think that's a uncharacteristically bad qualifying effort from another guy where you would consider this his home track. Watch for Kevin Kyle to be working through the field here today. John Beverly will be starting in 15th, and Wyatt Mickelson back-to-back poor qualifying efforts. He'll be starting in 16th place. He's going to want to make up for that real quick, real fast. In 17th place, it's going to be the farmer, Zach Lawson. Andrew Bolander, no surprise here, elects not to put it down in time, as does Matt Novella and Brandon Guerin. And that's going to round out our 20-car field here today, Mean Gene, which means we get to send it over to our friend a little bit early.
Go get him,
And
Kevin.
now, race fans, for the most famous words in motorsports, the star of Universal Pictures movie, I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry, Kevin James.
I just got 3 things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine!
Let's go, Mean Gene. These engines burning up at over 200 degrees, and so is the average fire that Chuck and Larry have to put out. Chuck and Larry in a theater near you, July 29th.
Get the chance to give
I
the
can't wait to get some feedback
That's-
when the fans go see that in the big screen. And
Me
also, can't wait to see how many screens are going to release that on.
So many.
Big production going to happen. So they're out there on the track. It is playoff time, round of 8. First race right here at Auto Club. Auto Club Pocono and Vegas, the 3 races here in the round of 8.
Round.
This is going to be a fun round, but especially here, I think this is an opportunity for some non-playoff drivers to get their name up in that top 5.
Yeah, it really is. And this is also an interesting opportunity for some playoff drivers who have either qualified poorly all season and amended that today. I'm looking at you, the 13 and Tony Iverson, been so poor in qualifying all season. Today he gets to start in 3rd place. And then other guys like Mickelson, he's going to have an interesting opportunity here starting from the rear, essentially. Does he want to use this time to save those tires, have that run later in this race? This is going to be a fascinating one, Mean Gene. 100 laps here in California.
Boy, these cars look beautiful under the lights. You got that Captain Crunch paint scheme on Lesko's car. Look at the dente of Gambrel there on the outside. Pace car is off, and we are about to go live. Oh, somebody already swerving down to the bottom to make it exciting for us.
Yeah.
And away we go. It's going to be Nate Led. That was the 25
Sanders.
having all kinds of issues right there. Up front, we can see now that finally Nate Lesko is going to take him into turn number 1. Iverson down on the apron with him outside lane, getting a little bit of speed with the 77 of Gambrel and the 41 of Ryan Holler. Iverson almost
Great
gets
restart.
to the quarter, can't make up his mind. Racing Tyrant driver down the backstretch, gets to the quarter panel of Lesko side by side, dives it down to the apron. Lane number 2 of Lesko. Great speed. Iverson tries to pinch him to the wall. Light contact. It's Nate Lesko going to lead lap number 1 here at Auto Club.
Iverson giving it everything he has, starting in third place, wants to lead this race early, going against Nate Lesko through 3 and 4. You saw Lesko kind of graze the wall a little bit, but able to maintain his speed and maintain the lead. Don't know if it's going to be the same story through 1 and 2. They're even here. Tony Iverson going to try to get to that quarter panel and cling on, but now he's going to go into that draft of the 10.
Looks like Tony has taken no prisoners early on, knows that he needs a good run, cannot count on the points that he accumulated in that first run. Win and you're in is the situation here in Monday Night Mayhem. And right now, that 13 of Tony Iverson chasing down Lesko. Look at Lesko diving below the apron, and look at the advantage he got. Multiple car lengths going into 1.
Big run out of 4 for Nate Lesko to get that lead up to nearly half a second in just the front stretch. Great job by the 10 driver. But like you said, Mean Gene, this is easily the biggest opportunity of the season for every driver in this round of 8. This is one of the few leagues left here in the BRN, here in the MOL, BRL, really anywhere, where we still have win and in and win and advance. We just saw the DDRL do its first race of the chase, so obviously no win you're in possible there. Big opportunity here for these drivers in that round of 8. Win here today and you can just set your sights forward for the championship race, not have to worry about these next 2 races like everybody else is going to be so stressed out about.
Look at the 24 already experimenting on that high line. That's Andrew Bolander. Haven't seen him for a few races, but he is ripping that rail as best as you can. And it makes me wonder, Zach, what is the feasibility with tire wear of ripping that top lane so early on? Fish speed brakes would tell you, ride the bottom, straighten the wheel quick. But Andrew Bolander, he's throwing caution to the wind out there.
Yeah, and this is one of my favorite trucks in the world, me and Gene. Not just the go-to, or used to be the go-to in real life, but also to race in this service. Love this place so much. I have multiple wins here, but I've also figured out every way to lose here at Auto Club. And the biggest way I've learned was getting greedy on that top line too early, especially when the sun isn't out, when we're racing under the lights here in nighttime, where it's nice and grippy, nice and cool, a cool California night right now. Using that top early is going to really, really grip up those tires. Use that wear. It's going to be a lot to gain right now, which is why I understand why we're seeing Bolander and Mickelson both use it pretty much every lap to their advantage. Mickelson there using the inside, but you still see Bolander ripping that Larson line. You can gain a lot of positions early using that, but you want to make sure you get back down to that bottom earlier than you would like. I think ideally would even like to, Mean Gene, so you don't pay for it late in this run.
I'm glad you mentioned both those drivers, as they are the quickest movers so far. Mickelson, with that, he was the lowest playoff driver in qualifying position, but he's quickly moved up to 10th place. And behind him, you can see Bolander, who's moved up 7th into 11th place. And they are banging away right there. Buddy Sully up underneath Mickelson there, using that second lane now. Got a great push. Going to have wonderful exit speed. He's going to close that gap on Applegate pretty quickly. Applegate diving it down underneath, and looks like Eric Gambrell, with that great start, has faded back to 7th position now with that number 77 Dente Chevrolet.
Might find himself in a four wide situation here. Will Gambrell and Volpus really, really sketchy there with Hall in the 41 there as well. These guys so far able to figure it out. But you were right, Eric Gambrell with that front row starting position, now running in the 9th position, bleeding spots very quickly. Speaking of, actually, we have a change of the lead up front. Tony Iverson getting around Nate Lesko. So new leader, 13 and Tony Iverson, as Lesko trying to hold off Redinger now and gets into the wall. Lap 7, Nate Lesko already having his hands full. And going back to Gambrell real quick, that could be why we're seeing him bleed these positions so early, me and Gene. We have seen Eric Gambrell not only visit Victory Lane for the first time in his iRacing career this calendar year, but we've also very much seen him figure out the long run. And sometimes at a track like this, to be good in the long run, you need to sacrifice some short run. We'll have to keep our eye on Gambrell if this thing stays green.
Yeah, on lap number 6 on the backstretch, Tony Iverson pinched Lesko about as hard as you could. Halfway down that thing, denied Lesko entry, and ended up holding on to take the lead from him. Very aggressive move, no contact there, but Iverson definitely wagging a tombstone at the window of Lesko.
We oftentimes see Iverson do that, kind of set the playing field early, show these guys, all right, this race is the round of 8. I'm not messing around. I'm not playing around. I want to lead. I'm going to do what it takes to lead this race. Tony Iverson setting it early, setting the expectations on how he's going to be driving you. Lap 6 is when he completed that pass. So Tony Iverson going to be looking to collect some bonus points here. Those are going to be extremely valuable if you're not able to visit Victory Lane. Pretty much every round of 8 that you and I have been here together on this Monday Night Cup series, me and Gene, we've seen 1 or 2 points separating being able to race for a championship and not.
Yeah, you see Lesko and Applegate with a significant lead above the rest of the players. If 3,000 is the mark, they came in with 3,030 and 3,027. Iverson with 30-15, 4 points above the cut line. So he really needs to make sure that he does a good job. Mickelson, Sully, Redinger, Stinson chasing. And right now, Kenneth Redinger, he's showing himself to have a pretty good race up there, moving into second over Lesko now. So Iverson knows he's got his work cut out for him if he wants to stay up in that top 4. Of course, that win would be sweet and just punch it, the golden ticket.
Nate Lesko would love nothing more than that. As with Redinger, currently in this round of 8, really kind of our dark horse, but really anything but that now, showing his speed. Looking up towards Wyatt Mickelson in the 41 of Holla and the 98 of Volpis, doing a good job right here. But in front of them, we have a guy that we have not mentioned yet that is actually just as good of a mover in terms of positive positions as Mickelson and as Bolander is, and that's Justin Parham.
Yeah, Justin Parham, Team Venom driver. He's got 2 of his buddies in the playoffs, Stinson and Redinger. But this is a guy that has threatened to take wins. He was not enough races, really, more so than his final positions in each of the race cost him that playoff run. But plenty of speed in that car, especially on this kind of track. The draft pack racing really works out for Parham's style of driving, and right now running up 7 spots in that 5th place position. Justin Parham gonna be a force to deal with here at Auto Club.
And right now it appears that Redinger has the faster car than Nate Lesko. He just cannot seem to get around him, cannot find a way to time that run correctly to where he can make the move, whether it be a slide job or a pass around the outside. Redinger has not been able to do it. He's been getting some really nice runs using the outside, Mean Gene, but has not been able to do anything with it. He'll try again here, using that draft to suck up to Lesko into the entrance of 1 and 2. And that draft looking very, very strong, keeping this field overall pretty close together.
Tell you what, Nate Lesko, if he's looking in that rearview mirror, he probably looks like a cowboy that just came across a rattlesnake, because if he looks in his rearview mirror, he sees 3 Venom drivers all hooked up. Redinger, Stinson, Parham. If he blinks, all 3 of them fellas going to shoot by him in an instant. I think that helps Redinger as well. He could take a risk knowing that those guys behind him aren't going to screw it.
Right.
And even if they do, they're going to give him the opportunity to get back in line and draft. Team play still in effect here for all the drivers. In that last race, Final 4 shootout, I would imagine it's every man for himself, unless, of course, your name's Ryan Blaney, and then you're just going to watch Joey win.
Yeah, that's true, unfortunately. But you're right.
Best teammate ever. Best teammate ever.
Baron Tressiliot. But yeah, these guys are definitely going to be, I think team play is more active than it will ever be, especially those like, their actual name isn't Venom anymore. I'm gonna have to look it up. They have a new team name now, me and Gene. Let me look it up. They sent it to me like a day ago. Jay Stinson let me know. Their new name is Grandstand Racing. So Grandstand Racing now, same team members, just a different name. But that's going to be a big advantage for them. You actually just saw Team DDI 44 Ever of yours truly and Patrick Cowgill really do some very similar mechanisms up against Backpack Racing in the DDRL ARCA race we just saw. And one thing I would not be surprised to see was maybe Parham or Redinger going to the outside or inside, probably the outside of Lesko, put that squeeze on him, and then get the other grandstand driver behind Lesko, put him in an unwinnable situation, really use those numbers to your advantage. I think that's going to be the next plan. But at the same time, this whole group is drastically catching Tony Iverson, so they might have bigger problems ahead of them.
Yes, sir. Moving quick. Tony Iverson slowly coming back into their grasp. Iverson was about 5/100ths of a second faster that last lap than was Lesko and the Grandstand boys. Behind them, Joe Vulpes in 6th place, another playoff driver, and then you can see the 51 of Wyatt Mickelson, and here comes Grant Applegate. He's right in between the teammates, 41 of Holler. So 2 teammates there with an Applegate and a Vulpes into the mix. Looks like Eric Gambrell has finally settled in, running in that 10th place spot, and then Bolander, who's moved up 7 spots in that 24 directly behind him. Buddy Sully, playoff driver. We saw a little glimpse of him there. Right now, he is the lowest running of the playoff drivers. So once you're in that round of 8, isn't it crazy to think 12th place ain't good enough?
Yeah, not even close to good enough, right? Pretty crazy. And Nate Lesko, he has already reeled in Tony Iverson. These long runs are fascinating right now, me and Gene, as you see the Grandstand drivers up top working together to use that draft. You see Parham pushing his teammate Redinger down the front stretch, but no such thing going on, excuse me, up front between Lesko and Iverson. These two really going at it. And here goes Parham actually going to look to the outside of Redinger. But 2 other things I'm noticing right now, me and Gene, is 2 drivers that we were talking about early in this race that have already stalled out. And that is Wyatt Mickelson, who has earned his way all the way up to 7th, has now fallen back to 9th. And Andrew Bolander, who we saw the first to go up to that very top lane, still up there, has stalled out in 11th place.
I think this thing moves in increments. With such a poor qualifying, I think Mickelson burned up about as much of his tire to get through there. And now I bet he's prepared. Let's get some more tires. Let's get some more fuel and do it again.
Yep, I completely agree.
And then see again how much space he can make up. If there's a caution somewhere in between, that would be really wonderful, because then you're back on equal ground. But when you start as far back as the 51 of Mickelson did back in 16th spot, it is tough to get by this many playoff drivers and this many drivers that have wins in their pocket. Speaking of wins in their pocket, it is getting dicey up front. Remember the way that Iverson passed him? I told you, he pinched him all the way up against the wall, denied him the turn. Lesko's got to remember that. He's had those great battles with Grant Applegate. So Lesko's not afraid to roll up his sleeves and get physical.
And check this out, me and Gene. I'm going to keep this on this kind of wide angle here so you can see what I'm talking about. The majority of this field has migrated all the way up top, especially Justin Parham. Justin Parham all the way to the Larson line. You see Lesko about 1 line below that, and Iverson all the way to the bottom. Iverson tried the top there through 1 and 2, and he was not very successful at it, me and Gene. Not only did Nate Lesko get to his side on the inside, but Iverson got tight on exit, grazed the wall, somehow kept his momentum. This time, Iverson's going to be forced into a similar situation. Nate Lesko taking the inside for himself. Slide job not possible for him, but Iverson's going to need to wrap this corner. Figures it out that time. Gorgeous 1 and 2, but keep your eye on really third on back, Mean Gene. Those that saved their tires, that were using the inside of the track early in this run, now have the top available to them.
And also another interesting development as I look through Discord, Lesko not in the Racing Tyrant Discord today.
Ooh, it's winning time.
It is winning time. So ought to be interesting to see what's going to happen. Speaking of winning time, there he is, Applegate taking a peek around the outside of Joe Vulpes. Got a little bit of help there from Bolander. But will it be enough to force his way past? Looks like it's going to be successful, and that's that drafting we talked about.
And I've never really viewed this as a particularly strong track for Joseph Vulpes. Vulpes is such a good and versatile race car driver, but for one reason or another, Auto Club has never been his strongest racetrack. Not to say that he isn't good here, he just doesn't have that lights out speed that we've been seeing him have virtually everywhere else, whether it be turning left or right. It's been Vulpes lately. But at Auto Club, I do think this is a race that 98 may have gone into today thinking, let me just get out of this race with a good finish, not do anything silly, not get any incident points, not make any new enemies, and just get a good finish and continue my pursuit to the round or the championship race. Don't forget, we still have Vegas and Pocono coming up. Joseph Vulpes winning at Pocono over in the DDI MRL Truck Series a couple weeks ago. So Vulpes just needs to get through this race, doing a good job so far, but not looking like the Joseph Vulpes that we've been seeing this calendar year.
Now I'm looking at the back of the field. Looks like Kevin Kyle is really off the pace, more so than other drivers driving by themselves. He's currently in 20th.
A second off the pace.
Yeah, he's 41-21. So could it be fuel stuff going on back there?
Yeah, let's see here. Let's go on board with KK here and see if he's up to something early. This is a relatively short race at only 100 laps. The stage dead in the middle at 50. So, and there will not be a caution for that as always. So there is certainly, yes, Kevin Kyle pulling in the clutch on 1 and 2 there. So Kevin Kyle, pretty easy, I think, even for people like us, Mean Gene, who need our fingers and toes to count. But this looks as if it's going to be a 2-stop race unless you're Kevin Kyle.
Going to be interesting to see. So already see a different strategy coming to light here early on. Lap number 25. This is a 100-lap race. You are watching Auto Club here on the Vortex Racing Network. Monday Night Mayhem. First race of the round of 8. We're checking out Tony Iverson in the lead. But as you said, Kevin Kyle doing things.
And it's kind of reminding me of the BRL championship race where we saw someone do that and it did not work out. But that race was very long. That was a very, very long race, even longer than their normal distance, it being the championship race. And that is what I think undid their strategy, me and Gene, is there was just too much time, too many pit stops. That was turning a 3-stopper into a 2-stopper. Mind you, this one is turning a 2 into a 1. Maybe there is enough time. Kevin Kyle already 24 seconds back. So when we see that first round of pit stops, the someone goes very low there. Very, very low. Oh, yeah, Kenneth Redinger.
Redinger got a little loose.
Yes, he did.
And speaking of fuel, though, but we did see it pay off in the Tuesday Truck Series.
Yes.
When David Owens was crew chiefing for Gulf Coast, and they made that call to come in and pit. Meanwhile, we saw Sim and Destroy Racing stay out, and that was the call. And
that's virtually what we're seeing right here.
Yeah, Darren Valley picked up his first championship. So I guess Kevin's fallen in love with fuel saving. He's trying it early here today at Auto Club.
Yeah,
we're racing. We're racing.
We are racing Crunch versus Tyrants. Rawr as Nate Lesko looks to the inside. He's going to put the slide job on.
Here it is. Now look how close. Oh, and he gives a touch. The tombstone directly in the direction of Nate Lesko. The captain got crunched. Gonna hold that lead. Wow, that was a dangerous spot to give a bump.
That move just sent me to before puberty. My voice cracked so bad. I cannot believe Tony Iverson there, Mean Gene. I don't think he was trying to wreck Lesko. I think he was trying to rattle his cage, but more importantly saying, you're not going to get away with that crap later in this race, buddy.
That is the second time we've seen Iverson give a whack there to Lesko. And look, Lesko just lets him run the outside. No contact, no blocking attempt.
No slider,
by Lesko. Nope. Behind them, Parham, Stinson, Holla, Applegate. It is packed up tight behind those boys as well, as this side-by-side racing has allowed that second group to close the gap just a little bit. You can see just how tight we still are. All these cars on the lead lap. Green flag racing here on lap number 29. Lap 50, completion of 50 will be the stage points awarded to the top 5. Very important in this tight playoff run. And nobody more aware of that as Tony Iverson continues to lead here on lap number 29.
And then a handful of laps ago, we talked about how Bolander had stalled out. No such thing anymore. Bolander working his way back to the field. He was in 11th. Now he's working on 8th of Wyatt Mickelson. And Bolander has done the opposite of what I thought was possible here, Mean Gene. Bolander going outside first. Now going to work that inside to try to complete this pass on Mickelson. Very impressive stuff from Andrew Bolander. He's going to be one of those drivers we have to keep our eye on, because if he finds his way to the front later in this race, he's going to be all types of dangerous. Really the only one right now besides Lesko able to hold on that bottom. And Lesko looking to the inside at Tony Iverson. And here we go again.
They are door-to-door racing down the backstretch coming into turn number 3. Iverson gonna pinch once again all the way down to the second lane. Denies Lesko the apex. Late acceleration by Lesko. Side by side again, but it's gonna be Tony Iverson taking lap number 30. 20 to go here in the stage.
Nate Lesko going to deny Tony Iverson any hope of the inside through that corner, shoves him all the way up the corner. Nate Lesko takes the bottom all for himself. Slide job incoming, not possible yet. They're gonna be side by side. Nate Lesko set very, very low to make sure that side draft is not possible by Iverson, but he also lost all of his run there. Gonna have to give that position back to the 13 of Iverson. Iverson back in the lead. Behind them, we're seeing very similar stuff, and Iverson ducks it down to the pits.
Iverson quickly making that call, gonna get down there. Looks like Parham gonna come.
Redinger,
a few other drivers
Daggert
as well. You can see Redinger, Jay Dargert coming down. So it's time here on lap number 32 for some of these guys. You gotta wonder how quick it'll be for the others.
I would assume very, very quick, me and Gene. We are looking at 40.83 as Nate Lesko's last lap time. Fastest lap of the race for him was a 39.6. So we are about a second off the pace. Nate Lesko very slow here. He will definitely be pitting this time around. 99 might be staying out.
Look at 99.
Look at Jay Stinson. Wow. Almost pulls it off. Got it. Worth a shot. What a job by the 99 Stinson.
Yep, and look at 51 and 41, a Holler, and Mickelson going to come in as well, right behind them. Teammates side by side. No, wait, that's not Cole Custer. Watch out.
Let's go very slow in the pits, Mean Gene. Very slow. Not sure what's up with the 10 here. He is off the pace in the pits.
Yeah, I'm going to look at that here.
Did he run out of fuel? Yes, he did. His clutch is in. Nate Lesko has run out of fuel, it appears.
That could be very dangerous, depending on if this thing stays green. That could be serious positions.
And I don't understand.
He was the guy we were talking about earlier, saying that he needed to have a good run, that he couldn't just count on those. Lesko spins coming out of the pits.
Let me find that. There he is. Okay, let's take a look at that, Mean Gene. Oh my goodness. Nate Lesko, a bad situation becomes worse here. Kind of like a half spin out of these pits here. Very hard out of the box. Full throttle. Locks it up. Could have been far worse, but definitely going to lose a second or so.
It gets worse and worse.
No way.
Watch, because those tires got heated unnaturally.
You're right.
They got a slick spot.
Ultra cold are they? As Nate Lesko here, you got to keep it below that apron until you exit that corner. He's loose there. Yeah,
yep.
Big. It didn't look, I'm sure, as dramatic as it was in the car there. But yeah, big check up there. Big loss of momentum there for the 10 of Lesko, who looks as if potentially ran out of fuel, which I'm not understanding how that's possible when other drivers, Jack Sanders, case in point, is running on the track still. And we know guys like Kevin Kyle are looking to go next lap. I just heard contact, Mean Gene.
Contact?
Where to go? Yes, Brandon Guerin appears to have crashed. Brandon Guerin appears to have crashed.
Right to Louis.
Didn't even mean to. As let's see if I can find that footage of Guerin here. No. Oh, there it is. Okay, we had it there. Brandon Guerin out of 2. Or was he? No, he was exiting the pitch just like Lesko was. And it looks like he was also dealing with some connection issues, Mean Gene.
Blinky.
And then he goes on the track and then spins out. And Guerin right now has that race car parked as Sanders is going to be the last to pit. Iverson going to control the lead of this race, but not just that, by about 5 seconds.
Yeah, and more importantly, 14 seconds over Nate Lesko after all of that.
Wow. Nate Lesko with about as brutal of a cycle as you can have, and I believe that's 2 weeks in a row for Nate Lesko.
Okay, so Tony Iverson with the lead has that 1.7 second lead after our first set of green flag pit stops. Behind him, Jay Stinson is got a slight gap over Ryan Holla, and then it gets intense with Parham, Bolander, and Grant Applegate. Those 4 drivers all trying to battle through. Holler and Parham not in the playoffs, but both would love to get that. Applegate touches the left rear quarter of Holla, keeps it straight, and it is Parham in third across the start-finish line. Applegate fades just a little bit to recollect himself, And now we are back to racing. Great runs here by these three. And now here comes Andrew Bolander in that 24 to make it even more fun. And Joe Volpis, you could throw a towel over these 5 cars, all battling for 3rd through 6th. Tony Iverson, that gap is closing as Stinson continuing to put down good laps. It was about 0.2 of a second faster that last go-round.
Insane battle here with Applegate as well, as he's going to grab 3rd place from Stinson. Yeah, geez, these guys are just going for it. That pit cycle where it normally, kind of spreads apart the cars, did quite the opposite for 3rd to about, 8th?
Yeah, because Mickelson as well is still close enough to get up into that draft. So you got to look between 3rd and 8th place. And there it is, Mickelson. And again, Wyatt been practicing with Jordan Fisher, so he's going to find the way to save those tires to get that run. Started so far back of the pack. Here we are beginning of this fuel run of this tire cycle, and he's already up into 8th. If he can just make up half of that again, maybe get to the middle of this little group a little bit further, that 51 really going to set himself up. Remember, he did accumulate the 2nd most points in the round of 12, so we're keeping an eye on him and that teammate he's got right in front of him as well.
Yeah, I completely agree.
In this scenario.
I think this is the most important run of this race, especially if we are to stay green like we have all race. Now, a single caution flag, and really not in any incidents that would really be indicative of one. Very clean race so far with this smaller field and all these drivers. It's so much on the line. A little bit more give and take than I think we're used to even. But these guys right now, I think this run right here is everything, Mean Gene. You need to get your positions here. You need to set yourself up so in this last run you can do something with it, right? You can go early if you want to. You can overcut if you want to. You want to put yourself in position to have some options here, and that's going to be all around running position. So important here, not to mention 10 to go in the stage.
Really funny. Look at the first 3 cars riding the apron, the next 3 cars going around the outside. I've seen them stagger before trying to find clean air.
Yeah.
But very funny to see them trying to utilize that draft and close the gap. And you can see what I'm talking about right there is those 4 cars did close in on the 24 of Andrew Bolander, and then they quickly spread apart. Other thing I'm noticing, that 51 of Mickelson, he is changing his entry to the outside lane. He's coming in a little bit higher, and I think that could really help him if he's ripping that thing at the end of the race, really using the early part of this run to experiment with his entry. You can see it costs him a little bit of speed, but I don't think he's worried about catching them. I think this is data for later in the race.
It probably is, to see how long can I use this outside lane early until I pay for it. I think he knows that he can stick with this group. He can make up for it in the pits, potentially, or if there's a yellow, it would almost be like it never happened, but he is extremely committed to that outside lane right now, like you were just saying, far more than he was in the first run. And I think it's also the guy that's 4 spots in front of him, Andrew Bolander, who was very committed to that outside line on the first run, got a handful of positions from it. Now he's using the inside in a little bit of clean air, certainly cleaner than what he has around him. And I agree with you. Oh no, is that Jay Stinson? Jay Stinson, big hit.
Oh my word, and it continues. I think that must be a mechanical error.
It looked like it.
Oh, that wheel is gacked.
Oh no,
it's under the engine, though.
Here is a replay of it. Yeah, that is absolutely a mechanical failure. Just takes a hard left off the racing surface into that protrusion on the wall, destroys the toe link of that 99. That is not only going to be bad for Grandstand Racing, but Jay Stinson was having a wonderful day out here, not what the playoff driver needed, and he's back. He's still on track.
Yeah, Jay Stinson, we're going to keep track as the ambulance come to go get him. Keep an eye on that. Meanwhile, racing does continue here. Lap number 45, 6 laps remaining before playoff points are awarded to the top 5. And they're racing hard as Parham and Andrew Bolander battling all the way back. Though you can see Hala Volpus directly behind them.
And Wyatt Mickelson shoves Bolander all the way through the backstretch into 3 and 4. Gonna try to use it outside to get himself a run here. Volpes stalking close behind, seeing what he can do about it. Jay Stinson looks to have parked it. So unfortunate for the 99. That was our last driver in the round of 8. First massive playoff development right here on lap 45. Jay Stinson out of the race, it appears, as Wyatt Mickelson grazes the wall through 1 and 2.
Yeah, Wyatt is not afraid to rip that top line. He is up 11 spots, second fastest mover on the track. First fastest is right in front of him. That's that 24 of Bolander. And the common denominator is the propensity and the eagerness to run the outside lane. And that's what we're seeing out of these guys. The lead by Tony Iverson is held constant. We've seen it fluctuate between 2 seconds and 1.7 seconds. Currently 1.9, as Applegate was 4/1000th of a second faster, but not enough to make a difference. So
No.
Iverson enjoying that nice run. He pit on 31. You imagine next round of pit stops going to come around, I don't know, 64?
Yeah, you want to make sure you have enough to make it to the end of the race, so I think you run this tank dry the best you can. As you saw Parham get out of shape there on the backstretch, lose a few positions. And one thing I'm starting to notice a lot, Mean Gene, is this is a very, I think, uncharacteristic of Auto Club, momentum-based racetrack here today. If you lose that run on the exit of whether it be 2 or 4, you really pay for it. And that's what we just saw with Parham. Really had to sacrifice his run on the exit of the corner, and that cost him. He lost 2 positions. Now it's going to be 3, as Holla going to look to the inside of him for what will be 6th place if he's able to complete that. Going to hold on right now, but momentum, so important here at Auto Club today.
And with so few people to work with in a draft scenario, I mean, it's getting more and more spread out. And you know darn well, if you go for an aggressive pass and fail, anybody in that little draft group is going to shoot by you. And then if you don't have someone to hook onto, it's very easy to just kind of fade behind. You can see back in 8th place, Buddy Sully and Kenneth Redinger trying their best to find a draft partner, but without anybody to run with, they are suffering on that side of the speed chart. Fastest guy last lap, again, Andrew Bolander. Looks like he's finally going to get around Grant, but you know Grant, he's going to run him all the way up to the wall and see just how close he can get.
Yeah, Grant making it really, really difficult. Bolander actually completed the pass through 1 and 2, but then didn't have a great 3 and 4, nearly opened it back up to Applegate, but looks like he's going to sail away here. And we talked about a little bit earlier in this race, me and Gene, don't let that 24 Bolander up front. He will be problematic. He's going to be fast. Well, too late now. He's at a 2nd place, but you see Applegate trying to do something about it, and this is an important pass here. This lap specifically for Applegate. This is for the stage. Tony Iverson looks like he is on his way to a much-needed, much welcome stage win here on lap 50. Here comes Tony Iverson to collect those stage points, but for 2nd place, Bolander and Applegate going at it. Bolander going to take those stage points. Applegate would have loved 2nd place stage points, but he'll take 3rd. 4th going to be Mickelson, and 5th, Joseph Volpes.
Wow, Volpes drew right next to Mickelson at that line, too. We're going to have to go back and do a little replay and make sure which way that actually went.
Yeah, ultra close. And look at this.
Oh, it was by half a Carlin.
Bolander gets in the outside wall, nearly opens it up for Applegate. Applegate not able to do anything about it, losing his momentum on the exit of 2, not able to get a run, but Applegate having an easier time through these corners right now than it seems Bolander is.
Applegate, we've seen that guy ripping the rail all year long. If anybody can do it, he knows exactly how to make it work. Exit speed is his friend. He's going to get all the way to the tail. Bumps into Andrew Bolander, says, I'm not going to pass you yet, just going to rattle the cage.
Yes, he is. You see Applegate trying to just get in the head of Bolander, but what this is doing is it's losing time to that of Iverson. Now up to 2 seconds for Tony Iverson. Side-by-side racing, very slow here at Auto Club compared to being by yourself, not having to sacrifice momentum, not having to sacrifice exit. And you're seeing a case of it right here between Parham and Holla side-by-side for 3 and 4. And just look how far ahead Volpes and Mickelson are.
These two have been battling for about 10 laps now. Great action out there on the track. Holla racing, as is Parham. This is for pride. both of these two guys would love to get their name back up on the podium, and they are just side by side. This has been about 12 or 14 laps of this business.
Yeah, these guys going at it right now, really not trying to get or give each other really much of anything, and their patience is just going to dwindle and dwindle as this battle continues. As you see, Barham really grazed the wall in 2 right there, but able to keep his momentum. That outside lane, so momentous, Mean Gene. Really able to keep these drivers equal, even with a small error like that, like you just saw with Parham. And then behind them, let's take a look at another playoff, or another pair of playoff drivers that you were just talking about. Looks like starting to work together a tiny bit on that draft. Buddy Sully and Redinger, especially Redinger, not showing that same muscle that he had about 25 laps ago.
Still battling, but you're right. We did see Redinger challenging to get up into the podium position. Suddenly, he fades back, qualified 8th, had good speed in that number 42 Chevrolet. But as this thing has gone on, just has not been able to figure out the equation that is Auto Club. Iverson looks like he's about to come up on another lapped car. That would be the 43 of Zach Clausen. Clausen already finding himself 1 lap down, so that would be 2. Nope, he's 2 laps down.
Oh,
so
wow.
that would actually put him 3 down. That would be very unfortunate for Clausen. We saw him have that great podium finish just a couple of weeks ago, highlight of the season for that number 43, but going a 3rd lap down, not going to be put on the memory, the picture book for the 43.
Yeah, but the 43 definitely doing the right thing there, pulling over for Iverson, giving him all the room he needs. Iverson's actually lost a half a second to Applegate this past few laps here, so Iverson really needs all the clean air he can get. As you see Clausen getting the wall there at a 4. Iverson here going to complete this lap. This will be 44 laps led, Mean Gene, with only 45 left in the race. Tony Iverson, the only other driver here who has led significant laps, being Nate Lesko, mired 18 seconds back in 13th place. Tony Iverson looking to lock up those extra bonus points for most laps led, doing everything he needs to do here in this first race of 8. Great job so far by the 13, but right now he has some issues to worry about, and that is his teammate of Grant Applegate catching him by about 0.3 a lap right now.
Yep, he is clicking away. Other drivers.
Applegate in the wall on entry. On entry, just really Ross Chastain did that one more time on exit for good measure. Only loses a 10th there, but that really does go to show just how hard that 14 is pushing right now.
Meanwhile, it has gotten intense back here. Remember, Holla and Justin Parham were having a good fight. Along comes Buddy Sully. Sully gives the push, gets the 41 clear. You can see Holla up at the top. Buddy quickly getting by Justin Parham. Redinger into the picture. So these 4 guys now having their own little battle. Now that Holla is clear of Parham, I wonder how much tire and speed he's got left, because Buddy's going to quickly put his feet to the fire.
Yeah, and you were speculating a little bit earlier in this second run here about a few drivers experimenting here. We were saying maybe Mickelson experimenting with that Larson line. Well, maybe we saw Buddy and Redinger experimenting with really being conservative to start this run, because they are definitely getting to enjoy the dividends of it right now, easily getting through Parham, and now has a lot for Holla. And you're seeing really similar stories around this entire field, as Applegate now has it to under a second on Iverson. Those guys have a 2-lap difference between them on pitting. Applegate with 2-lap fresher tires, and then Bolander and Mickelson doing a wonderful job behind them in 3rd and 4th. But boy, oh boy, they are pushing, and Jack Sanders is not making things any easier.
No, he is not. He's like, hey, you can draft behind me. Speaking of drafting, look at Kevin Kyle giving a big old push to Tony Iverson as Iverson.
Oh, he's into Tony. Tony in the
got
wall.
Him too hard. Both into the wall right there.
What happened there, Mean Gene?
That was a push gone wrong.
Wow. Wonder if there was anything between Tony and Kevin that begun that, or if it was just truly a mistake there. Oh my goodness. Big moment there for the 29 and our leader in the 13. And now it's just 0.7 seconds between Applegate and Iverson.
Yeah, I don't know.
Mean Gene, my entire data is just Ryan Holler past Justin Parham past Ryan Holler, blah, blah, blah. Like, just back and forth. I'm not even exaggerating, like 15 lines.
Yeah, these 2 guys have just been killing it. Holler, I'll tell you what, he must have ice water in his veins because he just had a showdown with Parham for 15 laps. And now no sooner does he get clear of the grandstand driver, now he's got Buddy Sully giving him the business. So Holler yet to have any downtime. This driver running in sixth, though, has to be proud of what he's done. And now here comes Kenneth Redinger as well. So 3 different teams being represented in that little picture.
Yeah, and Ryan Holla just surrounded by champions and race winners right now. Really could not make it any more difficult, but he's doing a phenomenal job holding on to 6th place right now, working against Buddy Sully on the inside, making it nearly 3 wide is Kenneth Redinger. Redinger looks to have a lot left in that 42, showing that muscle now later in this run. So really interesting, different agendas here from these drivers. But this is absolutely, like we've been saying, me and Gene, this is the time to find out. This is the time to experiment. Apply what you learn here to the final run of the race, which will be coming in about 5 laps time.
Yes. Now, we're going to lap 100. A lot of these guys pit on lap number 31. Iverson, you can see a few guys pit on 33, and then Vulpes on 34. So at some point, you're going to have to stretch a run to go a little bit further to get that extra 1 or 2 laps. So even though Iverson does have that lead at the moment, he's still going to have to deal with finding a little bit more fuel. We saw Lesko run out of gas, just pushing it to lap number 32. Here we go. Tony Iverson making the call on 62.
This is surprising to me, Mean Gene. I thought he'd overcut. I thought he knew that he was losing on the long run there, and he didn't want to compound that issue on this second run. This is going to do that. I'd be surprised if Applegate comes in next lap.
I would be fascinated to see. I think he'll keep going it because he's got 33 on the first one.
He had him
which
beat
means
anyway.
he needs to go 33 or 34 on one of those next 2 runs.
I agree. I think you run about 3 or 4 more here if you're Applegate or Bolander. Somebody who had Iverson beat. I think Bolander may be pitting here. Dives it very, very low. Looks a little bit slow, but now hard on the gas. No, he's not. He's actually just going to give himself a shot at Applegate. These two looking for what they think might be the hypothetical lead the race in 20, 30 laps time. So I understand why they're going so hard right now. But yeah, I mean, Gene, that feels very, very early for the 13 of Iverson.
Well, undercutting worked for him early. He's going to go for it again. And this last run will be the one where he's going to have to stretch it out to get to 100. That's 62. That's 93 laps on what he's been doing. So he's going to have to find 7 laps of fuel here on the last run if this thing stays green.
Applegate enters. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I say, or else he's going to have to take a stop and go, a splash and go.
Or save, which will really negate that undercut, right? If he has to
7 laps,
save
though?
and use the... Yeah, you're right. Holla in the pits now.
Yep, Ryan Holler going to bring it in on 65. That's a little bit more feasible. But unless you're coming in on 66... This is where you're going to save the fuel was on the early runs.
I agree.
But, it's really been tough to pass unless you just take it around that outside wide open or come down underneath somebody and almost give them a door or a slide job, which is what we saw work for Iverson early on.
Yeah.
And it kind of worked for Kevin Kyle, wacky.
Yeah, kind of worked for him too. But yeah, it does look like the only way to pass here. On the inside especially, right? You either put the squeeze on the outside or you throw the slider on the inside. Really no other choices here. Is Mickelson going to bring it down? I would say right now here on lap 66, the window is very much open, Mean Gene.
Yep, and it looks like Applegate, I just heard on the radio, making that call.
Okay.
I wouldn't. So he's going to bring her in on 66, which means he's only got to find 1 more lap on this last run. Let's keep an eye. Bolander down on the apron.
Looks
very,
like
very
both might
close.
be
Off speed. I think he's going to bring it in.
Oh, it's
Vulpes
really
as
fast
well.
for Applegate. It's really fast for Applegate. Wow. I don't know how he does
Going
it.
to temporarily turn the lead over Joe Vulpes. Vulpes going to get a point for leading a lap, but also just as importantly, Vulpes going to definitely be in the clear as far as making it to the end. And now he's got to deal with a lot of lap traffic. Got Jack Sanders, got John Beverly.
A hungry
in
Iverson.
front of him. Here comes a very fast Tony Iverson behind him. Vulpes in the danger zone.
Iverson going to take the bottom away from Volpus. So if Volpus wanted to pit here, he can't now. All right, so there you see Iverson maybe going to be able to complete this pass, but it's going to be hard to see. And Iverson, he can't wait. He's going to have to make some really bold moves, as you see right there, making it 3 wide to complete that pass on all those lap drivers. Iverson, no time to waste right now, needs these to be lightning fast laps as Volpus going to stay out. And you are spot on, Mean Gene. He has Volpus, Gambrel. They're going to have nothing to worry about. But I think even more importantly than that, they are going to be able to go as hard as they want to without any worry about having to save fuel. Nate Lesko bringing down the pits. This looks like a far cleaner pit stop than the first one. The early fast driver in this race, 2 weeks in a row of shooting himself in the foot early in the race and having to recover from it. Having more time today, but not the cautions that were so beneficial to Lesko last week.
So Nate Lesko does go on 66, should be able to make the 33,
Here
but he
comes
did
Volpus.
run out of gas on 32. There's Volpus, he's got Kevin Kyle directly below him. A little bit of danger there.
He's going to have to figure this out with Kevin Kyle before he enters this box. Make sure they don't touch each other. It looks like Volpus has the gap he needs. And interestingly, Gambrel actually appears to have enough fuel to continue on for one. Oh, here comes Gambrel. Lap 30, or he's pit on lap 34, so this will be lap 69 coming to 70 for him. And that will, unsurprisingly, give the lead over to Iverson. But man, Mean Gene, I bet you that Iverson thought you'd have a bigger lead than this.
Yeah, and he definitely wishes he had a lot more fuel than he has.
And tire, yeah.
Iverson with a 1.39 second lead over Grant Applegate, but Applegate, as you said, he pit on 66, only needs to save 1 lap of fuel based on the mileage that we've seen used so far. Those boys right now zipping by Gambrel and Volpus. You can see Volpus finally's got it rolling again.
He gets beat by Kevin
That's
Kyle.
going to be a very big gap.
Look at how bad of a pit stop that was for Joseph Volpus. That was a 16-second pit stop for Volpus. That should be closer to 14, low 14s, if that. Joseph Volpus with a horrific pit stop loses time to Kevin Kyle, who granted is not on the lead lap, but that's just a good visual indicator of just how poor that pit stop went for Volpus.
Not what he needed. He had the fuel mileage, but he got Blaney'd in the pits.
Yeah, he
and
did, those
his crew
morons.
Sent him straight back. Good speed now, though, as he is trying to get past lap driver of Kevin Kyle. Tony Iverson with the lead. That lead down to 0.76 seconds as
4
Grant
tenths
Applegate
lower.
closing the gap very quickly. Applegate, he's won 2 of the 3 playoff races. Lots of speed and aggression. He is the defending champion from last year, so plenty to prove for Applegate. Behind him, you can see Andrew Bolander about 2 seconds back, and Bolander still in a battle with Wyatt Mickelson for that podium position. So Mickelson, he knows the assignment, and that is get up as many points as you can, and good to see him continue to be so competitive. Kenneth Redinger, another playoff driver, running 5th. At the moment, he's got his teammate Parham directly behind him in 6th. Joe Volpus has settled into 7. Buddy Sully about 3 seconds back of Volpus. And then Jay Dargert running 9th, and Ryan Holla rounding out my top 10.
Bad cycle here for Holla. Ends up in 10th place after a 15-second pit stop, a little bit longer than I think he would have liked. Interestingly, let's go up front again real quick, me and Gene. You see Applegate, he's driving real hard, but he has that 4-lap tire advantage over Iverson. In my estimation, Iverson is a sitting duck, and there is not very much you can do about this. Applegate's going to get to him. But these are teammates, and these guys are going to drive each other hard, but with respect. We've seen it all season, me and Gene. But what that oftentimes ends up being is lengthy side-by-side racing. And if you look behind them, we have Bolander and Mickelson. And we've been talking a lot about Bolander today and how much of a danger he is to the rest of this field in terms of his speed. And Mickelson in terms of how much he's due for a win and how today could have been that, or could be the day still. These guys are losing pretty significant time to Iverson and Applegate as is. But at the same time, look at this, Mean Gene. They're about to be side by side. Applegate has been reeling in Iverson in a hurry. Keep your eye on the Delta here as these two start to battle. This is not over for the 24 and the 51 yet.
What do you think? If you're Mickelson, though, you don't go for the pass?
Not on
right?
Bolander. Not on Bolander, no. You work with him.
You hide him up front until you collect the next 2 guys, and then maybe you can get a little bit of the pass race from the drafting.
Did you see that? Iracing completely botches 3 and 4. He was completely left for dead, and his teammate of Applegate electing not to pass him. Pushes him instead, Mean Gene.
These two guys, maybe they're aware of, Tony's still loose.
He's not.
And not going to have enough gas.
Is he fast enough to hold off Bolander and Mickelson while Applegate can maintain this, right? Is that what their plan is? They have to be careful here. If this is not fast enough, don't let that 24 and 51 get here.
Looking at the last laps, though, it looks like Applegate was the quickest. Redinger and Vulpes also very quick. That last back on lap number 74, lap 73, lap 74 just comes to completion, and we can see Bolander much quicker, about a tenth faster than Iverson, 2/10 faster than Applegate. And again, Applegate electing to get in behind him. They're definitely working together.
Because watch this. You're going to see, yep, they are very much, I mean, obviously in communication, as we always know, but watch their kind of agreement or their cooperation through dirty air, specifically through 1 and 2. You're seeing Applegate go all the way to the bottom, and then you'll see Iverson use all the way on the top, and they both get to enjoy clean air.
Looks like there might be a little bit of that going on behind them as well as Bolander and Mickelson. A little bit of a gap. Bolander has just a tad more speed, starting to pull away. Caution, buddy.
Wow. Wow, Mean Gene.
Yeah, it looks like
out.
Buddy's. Oh, Darger got him.
Really? Let's take a look at this here.
No damage.
Oh, yeah, Buddy Sully. And that is what brought out the caution, was that short moment there. Great save by the 21 Sully. No harm, no foul. Except, what does Tony Iverson do now? What does anyone do now, Mean Gene?
I think now with the two or three caution laps, everybody should be happy, except Iverson will still be wondering,
tire disadvantage.
Do I have enough? And the whole field has to be like, damn it, now Lesko is not 17 seconds behind.
That, I assume, these guys should have one more set of tires. Mean Gene, I'm smoking them.
Oh, yeah.
I want those.
All right, you know what? While we're under caution, you want to kick that KK Woodscape commercial?
Yeah, give me a sec, because I have all these new things now, and it's actually I don't feel as bad about it because it was KK that made me do all this.
You have the one with audio?
Let me see if I have it. Let's see. I'm gonna try to find it for S, Mean Gene, because they are wonderful trophies.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I don't think I do. I'll find it before the day is over. Don't you worry. But
under caution here on lap number 77.
There it is.
Keeping an eye on who wants to come in, and they're all coming in. It
here at KK Woodscapes.
You were right about wanting tires, but you know who ain't coming in.
Here at KK Woodscapes,
all right.
We only work with the finest woods, the finest tools. We sand the wood here at KK Woodscapes. We stir the paint with a wooden stick here at KK Woodscapes. And then we brush the wood with a wooden brush here at KK Woodscapes. And when it's all said and done, we have these perfectly manicured nails. Put the plaques in the trophies, in the envelopes, ship them to your box, and on your way to you to commemorate your special day. Got wood, KK Woodscapes.
Okay, so looking at the live right now on there after this round of pit stops, but we do have a guest fresh from the Infield Care Center. Jay Stinson, can you hear me, brother?
Hey, what's going on, fellas?
Man, oh man, that looked like a rough ride out there. What can you talk to us about what happened?
mechanical defect. There is what I would call that. It was we'll just call it the accelerator stuck, and then they just went black when I hit everything. So now I had some.
It's called unconsciousness.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, she had a little trouble there at the beginning, and then we ran good up until there. Had a great pit stop, great strategy. Got in behind. I was running second behind Iverson. I was getting caught by Applegate and I want to say Bolander, but I was just kind of saving and riding, and yeah, all went black. So I turned it down left. I didn't want to ruin anybody else's race because I had a mechanical error. So it stinks. I really like this track and thought I had a good shot of getting a top 5 or so tonight.
Well, all the grandstand guys having a great race today. You were one of them we were looking at up in that front. Hate to see your day end like that. Any insight you can give us to the track, what's going on right now? It is a night race, cool temperatures. Outside lane, is it killing tires as much as we thought? Is there an advantage to going low early? Any insight you can give us?
I think you start at the bottom and then kind of work your way each lane. So I kind of liked running the bottom there to start, and then as you kind of felt like your tires were wearing, you just move up 1 or 2 lanes, and then you get to the top. And then in that first run, before we pitted, it looks like the top kind of wore out a little bit, and we started running a little bit middle. So in 3 and 4, but the top in 1 and 2 kind of stayed steady. Had to move around a little bit in 3 and 4 as the run went. Green flag. It's pretty interesting how the track dynamics changed throughout the run.
Well, we're back to green out here. Vulpes and others who didn't take tires in the front. Jay, I'm glad you're okay. Can't wait to see you next week. I'm going to send you back up towards your teammates.
Thanks, Jay.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you guys. Good luck, guys.
Week, man.
Yes, sir.
And now I begin the long process of getting him all the way up there.
And Joel Vulpes begins a long process of trying to hold off this field with a bunch of hungry hippos behind him, Mean Gene.
Yeah, Joe deciding to stay out. Very ballsy move as he and Novella stayed out. Looks like Lesko stayed out. So let's see if it pays off for those two. Lesko already dropping.
Iverson all the way ninth.
Buddy Sully back into the pits.
Lesko took 2, Mean Gene. Lesko in 5th place took 2 tires. From what I can tell, Gambrill taking fuel only. He's in 3rd. And Tony Iverson taking 4, but a very long pit stop, a 17-second pit stop for Iverson as he nearly gets into Redinger there. Iverson paying for his pit road misfortunes.
Yes, he is. Going to take it out on somebody else, but he's currently in 8th place and going to dive below Kenneth Redinger. Both these guys on new tires, so they should have a little side-by-side race. Redinger, very successful driver in his ARCA series, not going to give it up easy.
Applegate with a massive run out of 4, using that outside lane as Vulpes tried to hug the bottom. Now Applegate gonna have all the momentum he needs to hopefully complete this slide job. 3 wide behind him, involving Nate Lesko. All types of action in this field right now as Novella, the meat in the sandwich, around Gambrill and Lesko. 2 tires, 4 tires, and 0 tires. And that little predicament there as Applegate takes the lead of this race with only 19 to go. And Tony Iverson, the guy who's led the most laps, dominated this race, mired back in 8th place behind Redinger.
Yeah, he cannot get by. And now look at Mickelson dive below Tony Iverson. Going to deny him the apron. He's going to get a push from one of the fastest drivers today, Andrew Bolander. So Iverson definitely feeling the frustration level.
Tight is Mickelson.
Oh, he does get tight. That's going to give Iverson a little advantage. Holland, Mickelson, and Bolander 3 wide. This thing is wide open on this restart.
It is, and there is no time to wait. There is no time to be patient. And you see on the outside there, Matt Novella trying to use that wall. He has those no tire situation. He's doing a wonderful job. I think these drivers cannot believe how advantageous track position was here. Those 4 tires not looking anywhere near as fast as you would think unless you already had the track position like Grant Applegate did. But if you got far back like Iverson had to with his pit road misfortunes, there is nowhere to go. Even though this is a multi-lane track, this is a world of hurt for the 13.
Look how tight they get there as he's going to put his front right into the side.
He's losing
of
positions.
The 41 of Hala and still loses that spot. Now he dives down with Lesko side by side with Ryan Hala. Just cannot find a hole through. Willing to go 3 wide.
He's got to be more patient, Mean Gene. He's got to chill because he, like you said, he can't find an exit. And the exit's what's been important today. You need to not have to check up on that exit. You need that front and back stretch momentum. Iverson being too impatient right now. Only 16 to go and Applegate driving away in the sunset. But I just cannot get enough of guys like Gambrel and Novella still in 3rd and 4th place with Vulpes in 2nd. Can you believe this, Mean Gene?
Well, they're all in Discord together. Vulpes, Gambrel, Novella working together, but not from what you see there with Novella diving down below. Probably going to go for the slide job. Completes it. Gets, Gambrel a little loose, making Gambrel hit the wall. Both keep their momentum, but that let Parham get just a little bit closer, and Redinger in 6th behind them. Starting to get a little bit more single file. But you still got to wonder how much longer Iverson is going to show patience as he's still dealing with the 24 and the 51.
And the speed just isn't there, Mean Gene, and not just for Iverson, for anyone with 4. It's there for Applegate because he has the clean air, but everybody else with 4 is not doing anything of significance right now. Nothing. I mean, let's just look at the last lap times here. Grant Applegate, 4 fresh tires, 40.07. Joseph Vulpes, no tires, 40.09. That is insane to me. I don't think anyone could have imagined that happening. There is no real disadvantage here outside of just clean air, fast speed. But when you're in dirty air, it's plateauing everything. It doesn't matter. So Tony Iverson didn't know that. He is actually having one of those, I guess you could say, spoiled moments where he got to dominate this whole first half of the race. He doesn't know what dirty air feels like.
Oh, he's going to dive down below Redinger. That almost goes 3 wide.
3 wide,
and he comes straight up.
Jeez, wow. Redinger really had a big moment there, entering 3 and 4, or else he wouldn't have been so far off the pace. Redinger had actually checked out in that group a little bit, but Hala doing a phenomenal job. He's also on 4 fresh tires, similar to Iverson, and he is doing a better job than our guy who's controlled this race, put on the pole. Pretty interesting stuff here, Mean Gene. But back up front, Grant Applegate continuing to swell that lead a little bit on Joseph Vulpes. I do think it will get more and more significant as this limited amount of time in this race goes on. That 4-tire advantage for Applegate will only get better, but not if he hits the wall like that.
No, he taps it just a tad. Going to lose a little momentum. Still keeping an eye on Iverson as now he is just
on the bottom, though.
Hitting aprons and sliding jobs up into people.
Stop using the bottom, Tony. Go high.
Here you go again. Look at the dive.
He's going to lose all his momentum. If this doesn't work, it's going to cost him his spot to potentially Redinger. Oh, my goodness.
Wow, he just slams it in the wall, and that's going to let Hala try to take it right back.
Look at Redinger.
Look at Redinger. Oh, it's like you've just rubbed all these drivers. What do you think's going to happen next?
Exactly, Mean Gene. And he's going to try the same thing here on Parham. Is not clear. Okay, and now Parham has his teammate behind him, and Hala, I don't think he's in the mood to help Iverson.
Wow, look. I mean, you can't get any closer than this.
Contact on the entrance there. Tony Iverson going for a side job or a side draft and gone wrong, Mean Gene, for real this time.
Yeah, that's exactly how he passed Lesko, except Parham wasn't going to put up with it.
Oh, another slider!
Crossover attempt. Oh, Jesus.
All right, 11 to go. 5th position, 2 seconds. What does Tony Iverson have? Can he do something about this to his teammate at Grant Applegate? Will he even stay green?
All right, so with 11 laps to go,
Hala!
10 at the line. Yeah, Hala as well. They're having a big time.
Oh,
aggression
man.
is peak.
And here comes Lesko with his 2, and then Wyatt Mickelson going to close it 3 wide up top. This is crazy, you know what, Mean Gene? These guys are going for it. You can tell there's a championship on the line.
Here comes Jay Dargard as well. He says, hey, I can drive crazy. Oh, it's a Hala!
No! Hala! Dargard! They keep it straight. We stay green.
Oh, that car is messed up.
Yeah, it is. So pretty, too. I really like that silver and chrome.
All right, so we stay green, 10 laps to go. light contact there, but both cars keep rolling. Holla and Dargert fall to 11 and 12, still on the lead lap. Speaking of lead lap, Kevin Kyle back on the lead lap. Good for you, buddy.
Yeah.
Applegate with a 0.6 of a second lead over Joe Vulpes. Vulpes running on that high line with those older tires. Matt Novella third and Gambrel fourth. So, boy, you were on to something right there talking about the tire advantage, disadvantage. But Tony Iverson, he and Redinger side by side.
Yeah.
Let's see if those tires come into effect as these two boys now closing the gap really good with the fresher run.
Late race Redinger. We've seen this all too often, Mean Gene. This guy knows how to figure it out. You see Iverson trying to hold him up, but what this is doing is losing them time to Applegate. It was 1.9 when Iverson had originally gotten his place up to 5th position. Now 2.1 behind Applegate. Grant Applegate, everything going right for the defending champion.
Yeah, he's got to love what he's seeing. The other thing I'm wondering about is now that Nate Lesko is back to even, for lack of a better word, after the caution, I was expecting him to move up a little bit quicker as well.
The two tires.
Yeah, but he's only in 9th place, and he's got playoff drivers that are having great runs ahead of him. But as far as points go, that was a big break for him to close that gap and be able to come up from a 13th place finish to wherever he does finish. Up front, last lap, Applegate a little bit quicker than everybody except for Iverson and Redinger. Novella and Gambrel not helping each other as much as they could. And you can see that's helping Iverson and Redinger start to slow that or close that gap. The other thing is we've seen Iverson cut Redinger off and give him bad air twice. I would imagine once Redinger gets back up to him and has the assistance of a Novella or a Gambrel to find a draft buddy, going to be curious if he returns that favor.
Yeah, I'm going to be interested in that as well, Mean Gene. And let's go back to Nate Lesko real quick before we have to focus on these leaders for the last handful of laps. I think Nate Lesko, and I don't mean this as disrespectful towards Nate or even any of these drivers, I think he really underestimated the field he was up against here today, Mean Gene. He knew that he was going to be on even ground with that caution, and instead of taking 4 and letting his talent do the talking, he took 2 because he thought he was going to be good enough to hold off all those drivers, and he thought that he would have no problem holding that track position or maybe even moving forward. No. Everyone in this field right now is going for it, and they are showing their best version of themselves. Nate Lesko, he found out the hard way, Mean Gene. He gave up positions he did not need to in this race.
Very unfortunate, but we've still got 5 laps to go to figure this thing out. Redinger now peeking around the outside of Iverson.
Big
side by side with a little bit more of a run. Gonna make the pass. And now Iverson's gonna play follow the leader.
Yes, he is. And Iverson's not going to want to give up that top 5 to Redinger. But these two are quickly catching the group of Novella and Gambrel.
Novella into Gambrel.
No!
And finishes him off.
Caution's out, Mean Gene.
He finished him off.
He rode
Mortal
that
Kombat
Dente
2
all the way down the front stretch. Did he not?
Mortal Kombat 2 in theaters Friday.
Yes, he did, Mean Gene.
Wow.
Under caution, and we're going to hit that one horn sign. Or horn.
Oh, you want it?
Yeah. Catch me.
What? You want it?
Overtime! All right. We're going to overtime, Mean Gene, and okay, I don't think any of these guys have any tires, if I'm not mistaken. Now you're just hitting all the sound effects, aren't you?
Yeah, there's one more I'm gonna hit. I can't resist.
Do it.
All right, I'll stop.
Oh yeah. As through 3 and 4, here's the replay of the incident that brought the caution. Yeah, you see one car going down, one drifting up, and yeah, could have told you that was gonna happen.
Yeah.
Ride that Dente, baby.
Is that enough for a caution? I don't know. Oh, I know how to make sure.
This will be. That's enough. Look at Iverson. Oh my goodness, Iverson misses that by about a millimeter.
Ooh, he almost Joey Logano'd that thing.
Yeah, he did, except they're not in the pits. Nice save by Gambrel overall, all things considered. I don't expect anybody to bring it down here, Mean Gene.
Well, we definitely look at Lesko bringing it down.
Psychopath. I guess he has 2 more tires. Why not?
Lesko, Holla, Gambrel, Novella, all coming down for a visit. Sanders, Beverly, and Clausen all making a visit.
All right. Great situation for Lesko. Lesko's not going to lose any positions by doing this.
What's he gonna do? Take right
The other-
side,
the-
left sides?
The other
Taking left sides now?
He had 4. Lesko had 4. Wow. Lesko had an extra set in the tire or in the pits for him. So Lesko, I don't know if 2 laps time is enough, but
No.
this will not be the same story as what we just saw with Iracing, Mean Gene, because these tires are a lot more worn than they were then.
I've been in this exact situation where Lesko is, and taking 4 here is not so much about winning this green-white checker. It's about winning the next.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Overtimes, 3 available to these drivers, and you're right. Nate Lesko will easily likely get, in my opinion, probably the top 5 on this initial restart. And if he gets another one, yep, that's all he'll need.
So you come down there, the drivers you want to watch, all of them. But what ought to be very fascinating is a very aggressive Tony Iverson finds himself in 4th place. A very fast Mickelson and Bolander 6th and 7th. So let's see where they can go. And then, of course, what will Lesko do with his 4 fresh tires? How quick will it be for him knowing that he's only going to have the 2 laps?
And
Gambrel knows he owes somebody, so anybody will do.
Yeah, anyone will do. He doesn't care. And then to set the stage in terms of tires up front, Mean Gene, dead equal except for Joseph Volpes. Joseph Volpes is on 9-lap old tires compared to the rest of the field. Everyone else around him has taken 4.
So biggest loser of this caution
Volpes
for you would be Volpes?
Yeah, I mean, if he can hold on like he was able to in that first run, hats off to the 98 driver. I'd be shocked, especially with now as you see Applegate on the outside.
Second car on the outside lane.
Yep, exactly. And Applegate, the leader with his line choice, Mean Gene, choosing the outside. That is the last thing Joseph Volpes wanted to see.
Yeah, he could get split. Yeah, he could get split really quick by those 2. And then Parham fast, Mickelson fast, Bolander fast. Yeah, there's a lot. I was happy to see that caution come back up for Dargert, though, who was in that little bit of contact. So Dargert back into this race again. He's at number 59, silver Chevrolet. Lesko now a factor again. Kevin Kyle got, I don't know what he was thinking there on that early run with the save. You weren't going to make
on lap
50,
33
buddy.
anyway. I don't understand.
Pace car is off, waiting for Grant Applegate to get us into the restart
Green
zone.
flag, green flag.
Away we go. Good start, and he's going to bring Iverson with him. Iverson is side by side
Middle
with
of the field, Gene.
Volpes. Volpes
Caution,
going
yellow
straight
flag.
backwards, and we're loose, and we're backwards. The Dente.
Yeah, it looked like Kevin Kyle was actually involved in a little bit of a tire spin there. It was right around Nate Lesko. Let's take a look here. Whoop. Yeah. Okay, I'll slow that down, get us a better angle of that. Is that Parham that's gonna spin his tires here? Yeah, look at this, Mean Gene. Parham doesn't go. Bolander gets into him. Bolander tries to shoot it 3 wide, but they actually is out of control into Dargert. Bolander shoots down into Kevin Kyle. Nate Lesko in the middle of all this gets through it. Wow, Mean Gene.
Well, I said he was setting himself up for the next green-white checker. Didn't know it was going to happen at
got
the
to
start
7th.
finish line.
He got to 7th. So, I mean, that's pretty good, right?
Wowzers.
Yeah, that was not what we expected. And I believe that was an overtime restart, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that was 1 of 2 there. Or 1 of 3, I'm sorry. We have 2 more available to us. Oh, boy. And interestingly, too,
Wild.
in that millisecond amount of timing, Gene, Iracing got Vulpes. So he'll be starting in the front row this time with Applegate.
You know, that might actually be
Better for Vulpes.
Better for Vulpes now, as Mickelson might not be as aggressive to split him as I would have thought Redinger would have been. I could be
agree.
wrong.
No, I think you're right.
I could be wrong, but I think Mickelson will be more than content to just try to get under him and, you know, steal a little bit of air and then make the move.
I'd be a little tempted to have pit there if I was Joseph Vulpes. You know Gambrel down is pitting because they were just damaging that caution. You knew the worst you'd be was 10th. You have a fresh set of tires.
Did you say 10? Did you say Steve Lewis?
Well, I guess Dagger pit. So if Vulpes had pit there and just taken 4, he would have exited in 11th place.
Oh, look at all these guys on the. Look at Bolander down there.
Yeah,
Finally
exactly.
gets her rolling.
So yeah, that felt like a moment for Vulpes, but I understand why he's holding on the trap position here.
Yeah, once you make that decision, sometimes you just
Gotta
you
lay
make
in
your
that bed.
bed and
Yep.
you just can't change anything about it. Applegate and Iverson gonna be side by side on this restart. Green white checker playoff atmosphere, and now sudden death atmosphere as well. We're live at Auto Club. You're watching Monday Night Mayhem live on the Vortex Racing Network. Mean Gene Money, Zach Panzarella bringing you playoff action here on a Monday doubleheader. Playoffs started in the ARCA series today as well. Excitement as we saw Panzarella take the early win. Who
Yes,
will
sir.
go tonight?
That was a fun one, Mean Gene. I love that racetrack over at Kentucky. I love this racetrack too. This is going to be an intense one. I do not think these guys were anticipating anything like that happening in the restart. Definitely the happiest about it has to be Nate Lesko. Up to 8th place, it appears. I think Nate would prefer the outside though, Mean Gene. Shoot that top, get that big run out of 2, get yourself about 3-4 positions right there.
It's going to be tough because the guys in front of him are all fast as well. The only person with the wide-eyed look on their face might be Vulpes.
Yeah, exactly.
But other
I
than
agree.
that, you got the 51 of Mickelson. We've seen him riding the top and the bottom. We've got his teammate Holla next to Mickelson, so he's not going to do anything to endanger his teammate or put
20 lap advantage though for Lesko though, Mean Gene. 20 lap tire
Ryan in
advantage.
trouble.
Can't discount those 4 fresh tires that 10 has. And what can guys like Bolander do here in this late race restart to potentially make up for what just happened to them? Here we go again, Mean Gene. Do another wide shot so we can see everything that goes down here.
Oh, it's going to be worth it. Hope you're enjoying the show at home because this is what we all came here to see. It is green-white checkered, second attempt out of a possible 3. Grant Applegate's won 2 of the 3 playoff races. Can he get another one? Iverson looking for his first
Green flag, green flag.
Green flag, away we go. Great start by Applegate on the outside lane. But Iverson now building up to speed. Good start there by Vulpes side by side with Redinger. But the front row becomes single file. And now look at Mickelson. He did exactly what I thought. But Iverson, he touches. Wow. Touches Applegate. Pushes Applegate. We're up to speed here at Auto Club.
Yeah, we are. Backstretch, big accident. John Beverly going around.
The yellow flag is out.
Yellow's out. Daggered around. Beverly around. 1 overtime left. Next flag will end this race.
I got to go back and look at that.
Yeah, let's take a look, Mean Gene. I saw Bev have a little bit of an incident. We'll go back here. Oh, man. Gambrel, Bev, and Dargert, Mean Gene. Keep your eye on these drivers right here.
Yep, looks like Beverly's going to the infield care center.
And you see on this incident, Gambrel trying to ride the Dente right in between 2 grown men. And I'm just not sure if there's enough room for that full Dente, Mean Gene.
No, it's a racing incident for sure. Gambrel's racing. He's next to Beverly. So in his head, he's thinking, I have nowhere else I can go. And Dargert saying, I'm going to go as high as I can to get a great exit speed.
Just so little room here.
What do you want to happen right there?
And it is a netcode situation as well.
You get a little netcode. Gambrel ain't going to let off.
And Jay Bev
Dargert
here.
ain't going to let off.
Never lift, baby. And yeah, it'd be a big hit. Oh, massive hit for the commish.
Infield care center immediately.
Yeah. Oh, John Beverly, so unfortunate. Again, I don't expect anybody besides those who were involved, like Gambrel, in that accident to pit here. Gambrel gonna pit. I don't see anybody else bringing it down. Me and Gene Volpus gonna stay out. Now, with this being the last overtime restart, Nate Lesko only getting one position there. This looks like Grant Applegate's race to lose. Those have been some brilliant restarts by Applegate so far.
Yeah, Grant's only needing one more, and he can take this thing home, put it in the bank, and get a punch ticket to the round of 4. Wouldn't that not be something? He did win he won the championship last year. Been the hottest driver in the playoffs so far this year. No surprise there. And Applegate could just continue that meteoric rise since his rookie season when he first appeared and just started winning those races. Behind him, the veteran, Tony Iverson, wanting to find his way back into the championship for always the bridesmaid, never the bride. Will it be tonight when he can punch his ticket, if he can just sneak on by his teammate here? Behind him, Joe Volpus, the 98. This guy's on tires that are older than the tires on your little brother's car, but he's still running it. Kenneth Redinger did win in the round of 12. Might he find his way up there again? We're one caution away from seeing some foolishness. Behind them, Parham and Mickelson, a couple of the fastest drivers we've seen all day. Just bad position now, trying to cut through that traffic. And then Mr. Lesko and Ryan Holla. Plenty of speed back on that 4th row as well.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting one indeed, Minjin. And I think the number one thing, far and away, to remember about this specific restart is that the next flag, no matter what it is, whether it be yellow, white, or checkered, is going to end the race. So, if you are actually white,
look at Gambrel rubbing up against Dargert.
He's super happy with him as Gambrel. But one thing you got to be thinking about, Minjin, if you are, I think, Redinger or Iverson specifically, whatever it takes to get a nose in front of Applegate, you need to do it. Whether that be a slide job, running up against the wall, if you're going to hit the wall, you don't know if that caution is going to fall and end the race. Get your nose in front of him. That would be my only goal if I'm that 13 right now.
So let me ask you this for the fans at home. If there's a wreck in turn 2, do they race to the checkered?
No, they do not.
Or is that's just where it's called?
It would be the last timing sector, or whatever they call it, for the Formula 1 fans out there. And in Auto Club, they are pretty spread out. I would assume the entrance of 1 would be who would determine the winner if that was to happen. And here we go, Gene. Applegate. Iverson's got to know what Apple's going to do here.
Still on Dargert. Oh, my Lord.
Really? Yeah, he is. So we might get a quick caution here.
Here we go. Pace cars out of the way, waiting for Applegate to start us in the restart zone. 3, 2, 1. Quick start, and away we go. But Iverson stays with him. Does Volpus as well. Volpus trying to sneak it up into 3rd as Redinger did not go very quickly. That's going to let Mickelson. Lesko diving below Mickelson. Mickelson going to give him the apron. Lesko, Mickelson, and Redinger all battling for 4th. Mickelson fading. Oh, they're so close. 3 wide in the back. Applegate with the lead down the back stretch.
Oh my gosh.
Crazy.
Mickelson and Lesko. And yeah, let's take a look at Iverson. Look into the inside here of Applegate. Applegate trying to use the Larson line. Applegate's going to have the advantage, but he hits the wall. This is Iverson's moment.
Iverson dives it down side by side, but Applegate takes the win.
The white flag, Gene. Next flag ends it. We are on the white flag. We have 1 lap to go.
Iverson in the lead.
Oh my goodness, yeah, Iverson gets Grant Applegate on the inside. Will Applegate elect to use the outside or inside here? This is going to be a massive moment for that 14.
Let's go, challenging Vulpes for third. Up front, here it is. Iverson to the apron. Applegate to the outside. He's clean on the outside, but a wide open Tony Iverson gains time on Applegate, and it's gonna be Tony Iverson with the win at Auto Club. Grant Applegate comes home second, and Nate Lesko closes to third.
Huge recovery from Nate Lesko. I'm sure he would have loved to have won that race as Gambrel's reign of terror continues as he gets Novella as well. But wow, great win there from Tony Iverson there, Mean Gene. That was all types of nerve-wracking. Gosh, that race felt like it ended 5 different times.
Lesko with the love tap to Tony Iverson, congratulating the driver. What a finish there, as it did get amazingly insane. But Tony Iverson finding his first win of the playoffs. What a time to do it. Gonna punch his ticket into the championship, and there it is. Getting another love tap there from Andrew Bolander as well. Lots of excitement here on the track as Tony Iverson gets that win. Lots of congratulations from his fellow drivers, and he will be. Here he is. He's spinning her. Burn it down.
Burn it down. Tony Iverson from Las Vegas, Nevada. You can almost call this one almost a hometown track if he didn't have Las Vegas Speedway, but he's been here before. This track means a lot to Tony. This is a big win, and you can see just how much, whether or not there is a lot of beef in this league, a lot of contention, how proud every driver was for the 13 of Iverson. I think everyone knows, Mean Gene, how much Iverson deserves this W and how, I guess, how much misfortune he's had. That is a very popular win there.
Nice. Tony Iverson. Let's take a look at those final standings, unofficial final standings, of course, as I'm sure there'll be some fun for the admins later. Tony Iverson, congratulations. Going to take that win. Grant Applegate second, and Nate Lesko going to join him there on the podium. Great finish by Matt Novella, as he is going to come home in fourth. Playoff driver Kenneth Redinger fifth. Joe Vulpes holds on those older tires.
Great job.
Sixth place finish. Wyatt Mickelson, seventh place. Wanted higher, but that's where it goes down. Eric Gambrel finishing in eighth. Parham 9, and Andrew Bolander rounding out our top 10. Lots of excitement there at the end.
That top 10 is crazy, Mean Gene, because like legitimately, every single driver in that top 10 looked like they could have won this race at one point.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
All those guys had that opportunity at some point, running either in the podium spots or actually leading a lap. You can see Holla not where he wanted to be. Good runs early on, but as that thing went on, just kind of got shuffled with the bad track position. And as we saw, old tires, new tires, doesn't matter. Clean air, so paramount here today. Looks like Louis gets back on the lead lap to come home in 12th, as did Kevin Kyle. Sanders 14, and Jay Darger going to bring it home as the last guy on the lead lap. Zach Clausen, 5 laps down. John Beverly still in the hospital, Infield Care Center. Buddy Sully did come back out to finish a few laps, finishing 11 down. Jay Stinson, of course, we saw him with the huge explosion, and Brandon Garand as well with the equipment failure. Going to finish 77 laps down. Quite unfortunate. Lots of equipment failures going on. Might be time for a revamp. Too bad we don't have a QR code out there to get you some gear.
I know, we will soon. We have that Moza one locked in already. We'll be having a QR code for that soon. That's exciting. And yeah, we have some more stuff coming up. A lot of partnerships we're working on right now. And hopefully with those partnerships, not only will we be able to give away discount codes, but hopefully some free gear at the end of the year.
Yep. So don't buy anything for the next couple of weeks, yo.
Keep failing. Keep letting it fail.
Hold on. Just save money. Save money. Mm-hmm. Congratulations to our winner, Tony Iverson. He does punch his way into that that final 4. So exciting. And let's see if we and
Get him.
find the man himself. Yeah, I got a feeling he's probably down there.
Probably already drunk.
Oh, he ain't down there yet. But there's a lot of people talking in the admin channel. They're having a good. I just want to bring the broadcast into that channel.
I know we should just be flies on the wall
What's
in there.
up, boys? All right, let's bring down our champion, our winner today.
Dude.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tony Iverson, Mean Gene, Zach Panzarelli. Get your ears on, brother.
What's going on, boys?
Tony!
Oh, you know what's going on. It's playoff time, and somebody's going to the Final Four, and that's you.
I'm extremely stoked right now. I'm going to give a whatever the hell else I have to say shout out to Grant for racing me the way that he did right there. And I know he could have ripped the top. That was some teammate shit right there. I'm just going to come out and say it right. Oh, sorry, guys. Oh, man. You're allowed to have one, right? The S word's on cable sometimes.
You're right. You get one. You're right.
Yeah. So, sorry, I got a lot. Yeah,
You're
that was
probably
awesome.
emotional. Hell yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is.
A little bit late, but I got her. So, Tony, take us through that emotional roller coaster of 3 green, white checkers.
All right, well, so just to prelude anything I say, aside from thanking Grant and the other tyrants, I absolutely had to have this race because I found out I won't be able to race next week.
Oh.
So I practiced extra last night. I practiced this morning. I practiced during my son's nap. I found a way to get into the session a half hour earlier than I normally do. I buckled down in every way, which way possible to try to get in here and get this win. And, I know the last time I raced here, Owens had me by like 0.001 seconds of door-to-door finish. And that had been lingering in my mind. And, just everything the way it went. For a minute there, I wasn't going to make it on fuel. There was no way. That last caution
We
really
know.
helped me out.
Oh, we know.
Yeah, so... Yeah, there was a lot going on there, and a lot of things had to fall into place. And then Grant, being the teammate that he is, he has such a clear pathway to the Final Four, and he made a judgment call of how he was going to race right there. And basically, he didn't treat me like when he races Let's Go, So we got to have a very favorable result, and now I don't have so much pressure on me in Vegas.
Yeah, you got to feel magnificent about that. So, gonna miss next week. That's the news. You heard it here first. Will not be at Pocono Raceway, but doesn't matter. Got to make 2 of the 3, or else they'll boot you. So, we'll see you at Las Vegas. Very exciting. You know what? You know what we should do, Zach?
What should we do?
Let's keep Tony here just for grins and giggles. Grant Applegate, you got your ears on. You got Mean Gene Money, Zach Panzarelli, and Tony Iverson.
No, I don't. Who am I talking to?
All the crazies.
Oh, God.
No, I was just telling him how gracious of a teammate you are, Grant. And he's like, you raced me differently than you would have raced a Let's Go or somebody right there. And that's what I was telling him.
I mean, I try.
Well, Grant, on that overtime restart, the one where Iverson got by you, looked like you were trying to rip the top there. What was your plan there, and I guess what kind of went wrong there to not be able to hold on the lead?
Just trying to, honestly, just defensive driving. Just rip the top and make sure that I have some kind of run down the front stretch. And then we get to turn 1 and 2 and see what happens. But yeah, it's just, if it's not a teammate, I just pinch the guy and I clear him off too. But since it's Tony, I kind of try to cross over type deal instead of just, again, like if it's anybody else in the field, I can just sit on his door through 1 and 2 and he can't pass me. So the thought process was, as long as I'm on the outside, I will always have the run off the corner. So, but yeah, just overthunk it a little bit, I guess.
It happens to the best of us, but still a really, really good day. You're the defending champion here, and a great points day, leading lots of laps, finishing in second place. Now with 2 races left, obviously this is a win in advanced league. What is the agenda going into Vegas and Pocono? We just found out that Tony Iverson will be missing one of those races. Are you hoping to go to victory lane not to think about this, or are you thinking about those points and how good of a situation you put yourself in throughout that regular season?
I mean, it's winning you're in, but it's also a Final Four, so there's only 3 races to win. So, I mean, just put myself in the position to do what I did tonight, where I've got a whole bunch of points, and I can get help a teammate out into the Final Four as much as I can. So, hopefully, Buddy Sully can be up front at either Pocono or Vegas, and we'll see what happens. But, yeah, just run up front, and I mean, wins are great and all, but the only race you need to win is the last one. I proved that last season.
Just to say for that last year.
So, yeah. I mean, that's really, honestly, the only win that matters.
Yeah, you're 100% right in this format, especially. Yeah. Well, wonderful job today, Grant. Incredibly fast number 14 Red Bull car over here at Auto Club. Always fun going to visit these tracks where we get to watch you rip the top and do your thing. And 1 lap short here today, but all the points you would need to continue to put yourself in position to defend that championship. Any shout-outs you want to give?
Just shout out to admins. Again, as always, give us a place to race, and this stuff isn't cheap, so I appreciate that. And y'all with the broadcast, and just enjoyable to watch back. And then teammates, it's much easier to do a late race restart when you got a teammate up front with you. So,
hell yeah, it is. And great job on those late race restarts.
Any question you want to ask Tony before we have him sign out?
No. He already told me I'm not allowed to wreck him.
That's all. That was my only thing. Is like, we go to Kentucky. Let's not wreck me. That's all. If you wreck me,
my lord.
If you wreck
Tony,
me,
anybody you want to shout out before we head out of here?
That's for you, Tony. Yeah.
Oh, okay, sorry. The Tyrants, the wife, the broadcast, the league, and all of our great sponsors. It's really awesome to see that the Tyrants are definitely going to have quite the presence in the Final Four. So yeah, I just want to keep that going. Thanks, guys.
Nice. That is your Racing Tyrants 1 and 2.
Rawr.
Tony Iverson taking the dub. Grant Applegate behind him, defending champion Grant Applegate and consistent Final Four competitor Tony Iverson looking for that first win, and he is your first driver this season to punch his golden ticket to that championship at race at Kentucky in just a few weeks. Boys, go have some celebratory ones. You have earned it.
Congrats, boys.
Thanks, guys. That was a lot of fun, and I can't wait to watch the broadcast.
We lost our voice. I lost
my
voice.
Get one of, you know what they're going to get too? They're going to get one of these.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's see if we can find our third place driver. I know he exists. I see him.
Nate.
Slowly pull him down. Almost there.
I believe in you,
Nate. Let's go. Mean Gene, Zach Panzerl in the booth. Can you hear us, brother?
Yeah, I got you guys.
Man, oh man, boy, you were on an emotional roller coaster today, were you not?
Mm-hmm.
Really, the past couple of weeks, I've been on an emotional roller coaster. Yeah. Just dumb mistakes by me, really dumb.
So take us through what for us was probably the moment of that first green flag run. Did somebody clip your fuel line? What was that?
No, I just got so caught up battling Tony. He was keeping me off. I couldn't get past him. I mean, it was just, and got right to him. We're racing side by side. Come to the time where we had a pit. Just totally lost track of my number there. So I realized right after pit entry, I had about 0.6 laps left, and it wasn't going to be good.
Very unfortunate. And then it went from bad to worse as coming out, you had an adventure.
I think this is frustration. Just like last week, I spent in the pits after making a mistake. I think I'm just frustrated at that point.
Now, once that restart, once there was the caution and then you were back in the pack, it was still a chore to get through those guys. You went with 2 tires on a restart, I believe.
Just stayed out. I don't know. I feel like I just had to be on an alternative strategy there. It was going to be, even if I pitted with all of them and on the same tires, I'm not sure how well I would have been able to get through. So I just was going to try track position, and then if we got a caution, I'd have a set for later.
And that's exactly what we saw. You had to feel good when that came, especially with the second green-white checker coming up.
Yeah, I would have liked it a little earlier. There's a couple of cars that spun out earlier, and that would have been nice, but I'm glad it eventually happened, honestly. So it did work out. I was able to recover something out of today, so yeah, fortunate.
Now, we saw some physicality on the track here today. How physical were the drivers? We didn't see people spinning each other, but it looked like a good deal of contact going on throughout that race.
Yeah, I think track position is very important, and when you have a run, you're going to have to try to drag someone back. Slow their run. It's just the way they pass to get speed around the corners there. So try to slow the guy up before that and go around them. So yeah, you just kind of have to drive close, try not to spin each other out, but you're going to do everything and lean on the other guy a little bit.
Well, definitely fun to watch. Zach, his charge there at the end as well to finish up in third.
Incredible. Yeah, we had our eyes on you for those last 3 restarts. I think if they had just not ended so quickly, there could have been something there, but regardless, insane to get back to the third.
Yeah, no, I'm glad that last one went more than straight away. So
yeah, for sure.
Now, what about next week? Do you expect more of the having to get insanely close to make those passes?
Yeah, track position tracks. Yeah, Vegas is going to be hard to pass. Pocono is for sure very
so
difficult.
hard to pass. Oh my god.
These are definitely not my favorite tracks. So I have no idea what's going to happen here. I'm hopefully a little bit of luck, quit making dumb mistakes, and keep myself somewhere near the front. But yeah, it's going to be hard for sure.
I'm trying to get an update of these points.
Yeah, I don't have them yet either.
Are about okay. Mm-hmm. It says no results, but I see them.
Okay.
So it looks like you are 1 point behind Applegate and Iverson, who are tied. Then there's a 16-point gap after you to Vulpes at that cut line. So still looking good going into next week. So no panic.
That's better than I would have expected, honestly. I thought it was going to be back of the cut line for sure.
I
happy to hear that.
I thought they were too, honestly.
When you were after that first pit stop, we were concerned. You definitely were on the radar.
I'm glad it didn't go. We were doing a fuel saving run there, and that was the most boring racing. I'm so glad. Unfortunate for those people, but I'm so glad there was a wreck there. That made it a little more interesting.
Yeah, definitely enjoyable for us here to watch. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Nate Lesko, comes home in third and one of the 3 drivers that are separated by 1 point as we have completed the first race in the round of 8. Nate, anybody you want to give a shout out to here tonight?
Yeah, shout out Jordan Fisher for putting up these practice sessions. I wasn't able to join this one, but before the races, I'll hop in those and just appreciate his time that he gives us to MRL.
There you go. That's our primary sponsor, Fish Speed Brakes. Thank you so much, Nate. Go ahead and enjoy yourself the rest of your night, man. You have earned it. Great race, dude.
Great recovery, Nate.
Thank you. See you guys.
So Nate Lesko brings her home in third. That was something to watch. I was a little worried about him and to watch him cut through the field. And that strategy, especially with those green-white checkers, tighten the field, get 3 spots, really worked out.
Yeah, it really did, and that was much needed by Nate Lesko. I mean, you look at the point standings on top of our screen now, me and Gene, and like you were saying, and like Nate Lesko was saying, he did not expect to only be -1, and nor did I, to be honest. And it really just goes to show how big those late race passes were for him. A big bunch of points he was able to recover there, and not have to go into Pocono and Vegas feeling so helpless, I think would be the word to describe that, because we are looking at a situation that if we do not have a Vulpes, Mickelson, Redinger, Sully, or Stinson winner in the next 2 weeks, this is I don't want to say it too soon, Mean Gene. It's almost looking like there's one spot available.
Yeah, no, I really feel after what happened that Redinger, Sully, and Stinson are pretty much in a must-win scenario.
Yeah, I think Mickelson's the only one who can think about pointing.
Yeah, Mickelson is on the cusp right there. Somebody could mess up, maybe.
And he's so consistent.
Vulpes, if Vulpes could mess up, Mickelson could point his way in.
Yeah,
but
I mean, look at those
guys,
stats.
The other three guys, there's no way both Vulpes and Mickelson mess up.
No, I completely agree. And Mickelson, I think, can kind of lean back on that. Look at the stats on the screen, too. The top 10s. Mickelson with 11. The only other guy you can say that is Nate Lesko, and the only guy who has more than that is Grant Applegate. That's 2 more than Vulpes. That is a significant amount more than that of Redinger, Sully, or Stinson. Top 5s is where we've seen Mickelson kind of improving lately, and where he does need to continue to improve. He needs to continue to get that 51 car in the top 5 as opposed to the top 10. But Mickelson is the one who I think can lean back on consistency more than anybody else on the outside looking in.
Yeah, and it's been for him, those top 5s have come late in the season.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when we've really just seen him start to flex his way in.
I completely agree. It's going to be very, very interesting to see what these guys are able to do. And mind you, Vegas and Pocono, while they're somewhat straightforward tracks, definitely Pocono more than Vegas is. Anybody can win there, especially with the parity that we're seeing up top in the top 10, 15 of this league right now. Legitimately, anybody can win that either of those races. So don't count out any of those bottom 4 right there to win in advance, which would completely make everything upside down.
Yeah, then suddenly the cutoff line is 3, and you got somebody like Joe Vulpes who's been in, it seems like, every Final 4.
Yep.
in the last 2 seasons of every league. Would be suddenly on the outside looking in. Just don't think that would happen. Ladies and gentlemen, we have entered our post-race show. The post-race show brought to you by the Racing Tyrants. Thank you to Tony Iverson and the Racing Tyrants for their sponsorship of our post-season show. Season-long sponsor. Did a little name change halfway through, but there they are. Racing Tyrants.
Rawr. They're great.
They rawr tonight, man, with a 1-2 finish. And the teamwork. You could definitely see that was the first time you definitely, because usually when David Owens and Thornton and Iverson were that core, they would race the heck out of each other.
Yeah.
And there was contact sometimes. But tonight, you could see Grant and Tony looking for that bigger picture. And Tony sharing with Grant, I'm not going to be here next week. Those guys definitely raced a little bit differently. More like a cooperative team. It looked like Blaney and Logano, not Cindric and Logano or Cindric and Blaney.
Yeah.
Yes. Wrecking each other.
I totally agree. And I think it's almost like a championship is on the line now, me and Gene, right? Sure, when we're racing the regular season for a trophy, it's all fun and games, especially when these guys have already put themselves in such good positions in said regular season. But when we get to these playoffs, the round of 8 specifically, you gotta be thinking of the grand scheme. And that team did a phenomenal job of that today, me and Gene. And not just that, man, that's gotta be intimidating to the rest of the field. To see that group working so collectively well together and just thinking, oh my God, this makes it so much harder to beat these guys.
It does. And then you add in the third driver of Buddy Sully. Bad day for Buddy today, being caught up in that early accident. But Buddy, another driver who could show up next week and take the win. And then all of a sudden you're thinking, oh my Lord, is there really going to be 3 of them in that final 4? And then it's a 3-on-1 scenario. But lots of racing to go. Don't want to put the cart before the horse. Have to see what happens next week when they take this thing to Pocono. Best way to follow all the action, make sure that you are a subscriber of the Vortex Racing Network. That's right, 5 nights a week right here on VRN. You just got done watching the Monday night doubleheader. We saw the playoffs kick off from Kentucky in the DDI ARCA series, and you just watched the first race of the round of 8 here, Monday Night Mayhem, as the MRL Cup Series is knee-deep in the playoffs. Tuesdays, congratulations, Jaron Valley just won the Dennis Puckett Big Truckin' Tuesday Championship in an amazing Final Four race, battling it out with his teammate Nick Mills, ends up coming home with his first BTT Championship. That series now open for recruiting. If you have a driver rating of less than 2K and you want to get in on some truck action on a Tuesday night, reach out to Matt Schofield, AJ Benish, David Buell, Joe Volpis, myself, Zach Panzarella. We can get you in touch. Stephen Neal, we can get you in touch with the right guys. You want to run Tuesday nights, BTT, get involved. Go ahead and send us a DM. Wednesday nights, this is the All-Star League, MRL DDI Moonlight Truck Series, well underway. Zach, where are we looking at this week?
Next broadcast will be over at Chicago Street Course, and then shortly after will be Richmond.
Chicago Street Course. I remember that one.
Shut up, Adrian.
That was such an amazing race when we saw David Owens get barrel rolled and he continued to drive away in a next gen car. That was yep. And then he did all of his effort to catch up to was that case of beer and wreck him. That was glorious. That was like 10 laps of will he catch him or will he won't. And then Willie did, and that was an amazing last turn. Thursday nights, you're going to see the Quantum Contenders series as Kevin Kyle and guest broadcaster Kyle Lanat. He's been pretty steady over there. Come watch that. That's live next-gen action. Cody Dorsey and the boys putting on a great show for us here on Vortex. And it all wraps up to the Sunday race, final race of the regular season, as the Bonfire Premier Cup will be at Daytona, as all the playoff drivers are solidified. Will Joe Volpis win a regular season championship? Can Evan Stewart keep his internet connection? Maybe he can take over that playoff lead. Gonna have to find out next week. And down at the bottom, will David Owen show up for that last race and qualify based on his one win that he did get on the season? So many questions. The only way to find out the answer, make sure you're subscribed and get notified when we go live. You enjoy what you've seen? I know you have, because you're still here. Like this video, share it with your friends. Also being broadcast on Twitch as well. So plenty of opportunities to check out what we're doing right here. Have you checked out the Twitch channel?
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Kevin Kyle doing incredible stuff over there, and cool to see that we have a little bit of a following over there too. Very, very cool.
Yeah, it's a growing. You got to love it. And the social media network as well. Seeing those shorts, live videos, as well as the track guides that just keep coming out. Remember, those track guides are following the officials. So that gives you the opportunity to get a little bit of insight with the A-Class fixed, the next-gen fixed cars. You want to pay attention to that with our partnership with Fish Speed Brakes. About to head out of here, Zach. Any final thoughts?
Awesome. Excuse me. Awesome race today. My voice is shot, Mean Gene. Awesome race today. So cool. I love when these doubleheaders go to 2 different racetracks, but deliver 2 completely different experiences and 2 just edge your seat races. Very, very happy for Tony Iracing. I consider pretty much everybody in this league a good friend of mine, but Tony always one that I know just how much it means to him. I identify with Tony a lot when it comes to how much I care about this, how badly I want to be successful, and how much time I dedicate to being good at this. And it really is nice to see him get to enjoy that success. But what it also does is sets up an absolutely insane championship race 3 weeks early, knowing that Tony Iverson, who we were worried about him, me and Gene, we were worried about Tony Iverson making that championship race. I remember this morning waking up thinking about today's broadcast and really thinking, man, I really would love to see Tony not have another bad race here today and be able to do what it takes to at least put himself in position. Great job by him. He is back against the wall, not going to be here next week, so amazing job by him. And this is anything but over with that win in advance format we have here. This is going to be an incredible next 2 weeks where anything can truly happen. I think it's anyone's guess who's going to be racing for those final 3 spots over that championship.
I agree. Can't wait to see, especially for me, what are Buddy Sully and Jay Stinson going to do? Those 2 guys finishing 18th and 19th today, backs against the wall. No wondering maybe I have a shot down the road. No, now is the time. Kenneth Redinger, his back also against the wall. Guy finished 5th today. Guy finishes in 5th place, and yet you go to the points, and he finds himself way downtown. Bang. We're talking 14 points out of getting advanced. So Redinger as well. Those 3 drivers, how are they going to respond? And then it's going to be Vulpes versus Mickelson as well to see, because Wyatt, unless Joe blinks, it's going to take a win for him as well. What an amazing season he's had. Can he take that next step and make it to the Final Four in his first year? Going to be big time next week. Going to be a big shout out also to all of our sponsors. Thank you so much. Fish Speed Brakes, Jordan Fisher, and the boys over there in that Discord, as they make it possible for drivers to get better. You heard Lesko give him a direct shout out. We know Mickelson works with him. We've seen the effect that he's had on championships as well, Grant Applegate. So thank you to Fish Speed Brakes. Thank you to Kevin Kyle and KK Woodscapes, providing trophies across the entire Vortex Racing Network as he continues to support those guys. Also, thank you, Kevin, for what you do behind the scenes with our social media and our production aspects. He and Buddy and Joe Vulpes doing a lot of things with that. Also, Kevin Kyle with his Sim and Destroy Racing Company Endeavor t-shirts and merch. You want to check that out. He's still reworking that website, but it'll be up soon. And last but not least, Tony Iverson and the Racing Tyrants for their sponsorship of our post-race show. On behalf of myself, Mean Gene Money, my tag team partner, Zach Panzarella, all the admins of the Moonlight Racing League that make this possible, and big shout out to you at home for being along for the ride with all of us. Love you much, true believers. Have a great night, and as always, bottoms up and hammer.